Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And so I'm here with another journal with me video, but this one's going to be a little bit different. These are a series of clips of me working through various different journals at various different times that for some reason I just never made into like a proper journal with me video. And so instead of just getting rid of all of this footage, I am taking a cue from Stephanie at the Journal Diaries, and I am kind of compiling them all into one big long video. Actually, yeah, one big long video. I'm looking at the time now, and this is a hefty video. So I will say to just tuck in, maybe grab your journal and journal along with me. But yeah, it's just going to be me catching up with you because it's been a while. Me catching up with you and just journaling. So I am working on my December daily journal here, and I'm so behind on it. Like, I don't know what else to say other than I'm really behind on it. It's taking me quite a bit to print out photographs that I need. And so currently right now I don't really have a working printer, which is unfortunate. And I do have an Epson PictureMate printer, but I need ink for it. And it took me such a long time to buy the ink for it. As I'm recording this right now, it is New Year's Eve. So you'll see this video probably sometime in the new year. But it's New Year's Eve, and I do have ink for my Epson PictureMate. And I've already changed the ink out, and I've already printed the photographs that I needed for my December daily. So at some point I will get to that. But for right now, I am going back and doing the few pages. I think this is like page 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it's those days, with pictures that I've already had printed before all of my printers kind of went kaputsits on me. And so you can see here that this journal still does not have a cover. My inserts, I have 2 inserts in this TN. They are just being held together with the elastic of the journal cover. I have not had the chance to sit down and create my cover. I want to do a cover similar to what I did in 2021 for December Daily, which is a fabric cover, but like it's 2 individual covers made out of fabric, paper, and like a heavy duty cardstock, and then I combine them together with a lace spine, like a fabric lace spine, and then I sew the signatures into the lace spine. So I kind of want to do that sort of cover. It's just I haven't had the time to sit down and do it. I think it's a mixture of not having the time and then not having motivation to do it, quite possibly. I know I'm just juggling a lot of different things right now. I'm trying to catch up on so many things. I'm trying to finish a course that I've been working on for I want to say 4 years now. And it is finally almost finished. Finally almost finished. I have a couple more videos that I need to film. Most of them, almost all of them, are kind of sit down face-to-facey videos, but my goal was to get this class done by the ending of December so that I can release it in January. And like I said before, we're already in the practically in the new year. It's New Year's Eve, and I still have a bit of videos to record. And it's mostly, again, just the sit-down videos, and then I think I have 2 that are towards the end of the course. And so just to give you a little kind of backstory or sneak peek or details on the course, this course is called my unfurling course, and it's basically a, an not sort of an intro, but it's basically a creative journaling course on how to start and keep an unraveling journal. So if you've known me for a while, I've been keeping a journal that I've been calling my unraveling journal, and it's hugely inspired by Susanna Conway and what her process of learning about herself. She used to call it unraveling. I think she still does call it unraveling, but on her blog, she always had like a blog post and she would always hashtag it unraveling. And it was just her process of self-exploration and what Liz Lamoureux calls inner excavation, and just learning about yourself. And how Susanna Conway would do it was through photography. I do believe she still does it. I'm not sure how exactly. I know she journals a lot now. I'm not sure if she still does the photography thing, but back way when I first discovered her and her book, that was the process. It was a process of learning about yourself through photography and through journaling. And so I kind of adapted that process and made it my own. I got into a whole bunch of different things. Again, I love taking courses from Liz Lamoureux. Julia Cameron's Artist Way was a heavy inspiration. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Just, I read a lot and I take a lot of personal growth, courses and webinars and workshops, and all of that stuff put together became my unraveling process. And what I did differently was not only did I use photography for it, but I also ended up creating a journal that was creative, because I love journaling to learn about myself, but I also like visualizing all of those things in a pretty spread, whether it's an art journal spread, a memory keeping spread, a junk journal spread. I like being creative, and I find that I can express myself better, create creatively in that way. And it just helps support the journaling about the epiphanies that I have about myself. I call them epiphanies because they're little epiphanies about me. But yeah, and so I don't know. I had a harebrained idea back in 2019 to combine all of that together into this journaling process. And I do this journaling process every year. And it's just become this huge thing that I do every single year. And I know I've done tons of videos about my unraveling journal. It eventually evolved. I decided not to use the term unraveling. I still call it my unraveling journal, but my process, I call it unfurling, because one year I was gifted the phrase, a gentle unfurling by Seuss Fish. And that phrase just stuck. It just felt so me that it was like the best phrase to describe this process. And so I've decided to name my course Unfurling to represent my gentle unfurling process. And the course is all about how I start and keep my own unraveling journals so that you can also start and keep your own unraveling journal. And it is a creative journaling class. And there's a mixture of photography prompts, art journal prompts, a lot of more creative journaling, so like junk journal, scrapbooky type prompts, and a lot of actual journaling prompts, like actual introspective, I want you to sit pen and paper and journal that out sort of prompts in the course. And the course has 8 sections. So when I originally wanted to do the course, I wanted it to be a year-long course where every month we explore a theme and prompts for that theme and then do that. But as I was creating the class, I was trying to do it as I was keeping my own unraveling journal. I realized that it was a lot. It was a lot of work, and I just wasn't motivated in that way to do that sort of course. And so I condensed my year of unraveling into 8 sections. And these 8 sections I thought were kind of the perfect way to dip your toes into my process and just get a feel of it. In the course, however, I do have a 12-page PDF where I give you all the themes and all the prompts for all the months of the year. So if you wanted to do something like I do and keep an unraveling journal for an entire year, you can do that. And then the content in the classroom is your guide to some of the months and some of the prompts that I share in the PDF. And so I've been working on this course all year, and I kind of took a really long break with working on it this year, only because just how life got so hectic. And so now I'm trying to catch up. I'm literally trying to catch up with it right now at the 0 hour. And it's going. I have pretty much all of my sit down videos that I want to film, just face to face videos. They're little short videos. I just haven't had the time to sit down and film them. I believe there's a face to face video in every single section, and there are 8 sections in the course. And so those are the ones that I have to finish filming. And then there are 2 lessons at the end, in the last, I think, 2 sections that I also need to film. And so my goal was to get it up in January, and I'm hoping at some point in January I could make that possible. I was thinking normally how I launch my classes is that all the content is in the classroom when you enroll, so that you can begin whenever you want and you can work at your own pace. And that was my intention for this one as well. I'm thinking maybe this time I need to drip content so that I can still meet my goal of releasing the course, but each section will go live every week from when you enroll. So it'll be like an 8-week course with all the lessons going up weekly, or all the sections going up weekly. So I was thinking about that. And then, of course, me making more work for myself, I'm just I would really love for this course to have some sort of live component where we just kind of get together every so often throughout the year and just come together and share our process of unfurling together. And I thought that would be so great. Maybe we can have a Zoom call or something like that. But this is something that I literally thought up last minute, and so I don't have any concrete plans for it, but it's something that I would love to do. And I don't know, I'm thinking of making it a beta testing it, just for this round, for this, inaugural year of unfurling. I don't know. Leave a comment down below if this class sounds interesting to you, and if you were to take it when I release it, if the live component would be something that would interest you, because I feel like it would be cool. I'm trying to figure out how it would work. I would love to have some sort of community where you can share also, and that's where we can kind of share back and forth in real time. I just really don't want to do a Facebook group, and I feel like that's the easiest thing to do, but I really hate Facebook, and I'd rather not do a Facebook group, and I just don't know an alternative. I mean, I can make an alternative on my website, but that's just extra work that I would have to do, and yeah, I don't know. I've really, the live portion of it is what boggles me, and I think that's why I didn't really include it, because I just don't know. I think my initial thoughts were to incorporate it in my Discord server, but I know a lot of people don't use Discord, and I'm not sure where everyone is with learning a new thing, because in Discord we can have voice chats and we can have video calls as well, but we can also share our own photos and our own words and stuff. And so I thought a Discord server would be the best way, or my Discord server that I already have live. I can always just put a channel there that is for just us unraveling folks. But yeah, If you have any thoughts, I would love to hear them down below, but this course is coming. I promise. It's coming. It's almost done. We're almost there. Anyway, back to what I'm doing on screen. I'm actually working in my daybook of dreams and I'm just hopping around adding things. And so this was a quote that I wanted to add here. I already had this image here, and so I read I think January, February's issue of Victoria magazine is about journaling, and so I loved this quote, and so I just copied it down into my journal here. And this is more like a commonplace journal filled with inspiration, and just beautiful things that I want to collect. So I have my journals out here. I was going to come and do some more catching up on some journaling, but I did get this in couple of days ago, and I just wanted to share it. I actually haven't sat down to work in it yet, but I am. So if you've heard me talk and rave about Susanna Conway, this is her workbook that I do every single year. It is her Unravel Your Year workbook, and I do this in tandem with her Find Your Word workbook. And normally I print them out. I print this out on my own on my printer, and I print them out half letter size, and I punch them into an A5 planner, and that's where I do everything. And I did that for 10 years. But unfortunately, my printer is kind of kaputzits. I really need to buy a new printer, but I'm trying not to buy anything big right now, and so I don't have a printer that can print out an entire workbook. And so what I decided to do, because Susanna does give you permission to have her workbooks printed, I decided to print mine. And so I used Blurb, and I printed it off like a book. This is I believe it's 6x9 inch book. And I had to shrink down the PDF so it can fit the 6x9 size, but I think it came out so good. What I feel I should have done was, she gave us 2 cover options and I used this one, but I should have inserted the other cover option here so that it went into another one of these before the welcome page, but it's okay. But yeah, I got it printed at Blurb, and I used like just the economy print, so this is like cheap paper. It's actually pretty thick, but it's good to write on with just a gel pen or a ballpoint pen, and I think it came out super cute. And I can't wait to sit down and work through this workbook. I thought, my initial thoughts were, oh, I'll just get it this size and then I'll just take it apart and punch it into my planner, but I love this. I love this, and I feel like once I fill it up, I can just put it on my bookshelf, and like next year do the same thing and put it on my bookshelf instead of having planners, like just planners full. Right now I have 2 A5 planners filled with these workbooks filled out. I did fill out 10 of them. So 2024 will be my 11th year doing this. My first workbook I did was the 2013 one. So I have 5 years in one planner, 5 years in the other, and I think for archival purposes, having those 2 planners being what they are, filled with these workbooks, is good. I don't need another series of those binders, sitting on a shelf. I think having them in this little thin workbook sitting, that'd be really cool to have just years. And so starting in 2024, I'm doing a new thing and getting them printed with Blurb because this came out so perfect. I'm just going to show you what I did here, because how I normally print them at home. So there's 2 workbooks. There is the Unravel Your Year workbook, and then there's a Find Your Word workbook. And how I normally print mine out and assemble them is that I print out the whole Unravel Your Year workbook, and like the first half of it is reflecting back on the year. So all of this is reflecting back on 2023, right? And so all of this is reflecting back. And then at a certain point, she says, you're now complete with 2023. Thank you for that year. And then it naturally goes into, let me go here. It naturally goes into a Hello 2024 section. And then all of this is forward planning for 2024. So usually when I print out the two workbooks, I insert the Find Your Word workbook between the Goodbye 2023, Hello 2024 section of the Unravel Your Year workbook. So what I did was in the PDF, I just inserted the Find Your Word PDF in the middle here so that it was printed right in the middle where I normally like it, because normally what I do is I go through the previous year and then I go through the Find Your Word workbook, and then from there I know everything and can go straight into the forward, intention setting, vision planning for the year. And so I've printed it off my book like that and it came out perfect. Absolutely love it. This goes into the Find Your Word section. I put the ideal day visualization within the middle, so everything is sort of chronologically of how I would go through it, and then the second half of the Unravel Your Year workbook. And then I kept all of the monthly reflections in the back because I thought that would be really cute to have. And then Susanna's bio is back here. And then these are just some blank pages that Blurb made me insert, which is fine. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I love this. This is like regular copy paper. It's a little thicker than regular copy paper, so it's a really good paper to write on. You can just feel it. It's not slick or anything like the magazine, because you can get magazines printed at Blurb. This is just the economy print book. So that's why it's bound like a book. My spine is white, the back is white. It has one of these things, but I didn't need that there. But yeah, absolutely love how this turned out. Hopefully next year I can figure out maybe how to put a back cover, because that would be really cute. Or maybe something else on the spine. I don't know. Because it would have been really nice to have Unravel Your Year 2024 there. I don't know if I can do that on Blurb. I have to find out, but I would have to experiment again. But this is beautiful. Anyway, I just wanted to come on, and before I get in deep into my journaling here, I just wanted to come on and share this because I'm so excited to start working in here. I need to just take some time out this last week of December and sit down and just fill this up. And yeah, I'm so in love with this. You have no idea. I'm so in love. Anyway, I'm going to get back into my journaling because I have some things to catch up on in my journals. And I know this video so far has been kind of like a hodgepodge. Honestly, I'm taking a cue from Stephanie from the Journal Diaries. I believe that's her new handle now on Instagram. I will link her channel. It's brand new and I've been enjoying watching her videos. She does these little journaling snippet videos, and so that's this video. It's just a series of when I sat down to film something and I just never finished the actual video, and so I just have these little snippets of just journaling, and so I'm putting them all together into sort of like a lovely vlog sort of journaling thing, but it's a lovely vlog but filled with journaling. And so yeah, I'm a little bit behind on certain things, mostly in this journal, and so I'm just gonna sit here and fill what I need to fill up. Like I need to do the 24th in this one. It is the 25th as I'm filming this, and so I have to do my 25th journaling, so I'm going to do that in both of these. And then I really wanted to journal something for the winter solstice, so I'm going to go backtrack a little bit and do it in my Soulscape journal. And then tomorrow is a full moon in Cancer, and so I'm going to prep my full moon pages right after. And so I think I'm going to do that in this video. I just wanted to come on and actually talk, because usually when I do them, I'm not speaking. It's just fast forward and you might hear a voiceover, whatever, or music. But I just wanted to come on and show this because I'm really excited about it, and it came out wonderfully. Love it so much. Anyway, I'm going to dig in to all of my journaling. So I am back. This is New Year's Eve, Tiff, back with a voiceover. I just wanted to leave that little bit inside this video because when I was making and filming all of these little snippets, I did get my Unravel Your Year workbook from Susanna Conway. I had gotten it printed via blurb, and I absolutely loved how it turned out. And so I kind of wanted to share that with you. And I will definitely leave a link to that workbook in the description box down below. It's completely free. You can download it. Susanna always offers it every single year, and it's amazing. And I absolutely love it. This will be my 11th year filling out the workbook. I have 10 years under my belt, so this is number 11. I can't believe it. I can't believe I've been doing that practice for so long. It's kind of insane. Yeah, wow. But yeah, so I'm just catching up on these planners here. These are my like everyday carry planners. Well, the Filofax is what I carry with me all over the place. This Florier Lab journal that I'm currently writing in, this was my planner for the year. I never really carried it around with me because it was so big and chunky, but I like to keep the journaling part still up to date, and so I've been doing little journaling snippets in my Filofax, and sometimes I just copy it into the Florier Lab, and sometimes I write the entry directly into the Florier Lab and then copy it into the Filofax. It's basically the same stuff. I've liked to keep track of what happened in my day because I use these journals, or these planners, I should say. I use them as a guide for everything else. So, for instance, I like to keep, for instance, I'm working on the December daily, and you saw that how I was terribly behind in the December daily. Well, since I have a record of what I did throughout December in these two planners, I can always refer back to them to figure out what I did so that I can document that in my December daily. That's pretty much the purpose of them. And I'm going to keep something like this in the new year. I'm definitely going to keep my little Filofax. I already set it up for 2024. And so I'm going to keep doing that, but I'm also going to keep a different type of journal in a paper test designs planner where I do a lot of that journaling. And you would have seen that video already. That is the journals that I'm keeping in 2024. And I go in depth about that particular journal and my plans for it. But yes, I wanted to catch up on that. And then I have a lot of catching up to do in this journal. This is my school Soulscape journal. And this is where I document with the full and new moons. And I believe the entry that I'm decorating here is my winter solstice entry. And so normally I don't do a lot of decorating in this particular journal. Sometimes I put like a little cluster on the corner for like my new and full moon entries, but I don't really do anything elaborate. This spread is probably the most elaborate that I've ever did in this journal, besides like my monthly calendars. So I always have to hand draw the monthly calendar, and I usually decorate it with stickers and things like that. And so that one is a bit extensive and pretty and stuff like that. But for one of these journaling entries, I normally don't do a big elaborate decor on it. But I don't know. I wanted to play in here, and I wanted to do a fun little spread for the winter solstice. And so I decided to create a bigger cluster than I normally would on this page here. And I use scraps of paper that I've already used in the journal. And I have this little tray here that has washi tape and die cuts and journal cards and my little sticky notes that I use solely for this journal. So this journal is, since the journaling in this revolves heavily around the new and full moon. A lot of the products that I use are very celestial. They're very whimsical, very magical. So I use a lot of lace and whimsy stickers because just that witchy kind of moon vibe aesthetic. That's just what I do. I pulled out all the washi tapes that I have that that sort of color scheme, very purple, very pink, very pastel, very, pretty witch, like moon witch kind of vibes. My Tombow markers and my mild liners are also in that same color scheme, and like all the die cuts are from various different scrapbooking companies, but they all have that kind of theme in common, you know, very magical, very law of attraction, manifestation, very astrological, starry. Love it, love it. So I tend to stick with that sort of theme in this particular journal. And yeah, you can see my little cluster here for my winter solstice journaling. I always write the date, I always write what it is. So we're in the winter solstice as I'm writing this, and it's the beginning of Capricorn season. And what I tend to do is I write a letter to the universe. And yeah, I guess you can call these prayers, I guess, but it's just really a letter to the universe. Pretty much me ranting about my life and things that I want in my life that probably haven't happened yet, or things that I'm working through in my life, and all the things. Like I do for the new moons and the full moons, I do read astrology reports on them and what they signify and what they mean, and what is the shift in the air, and like what's the theme of those new and full moons. And then I kind of think about how they apply to me and me personally. Like some moons I feel like strongly, like I feel like an emotion, like really emotional around certain full moons. And it's very interesting to see and read these astrology reports, because a lot of the times the reason why I feel them so strongly is because they affect, Aries or Leo or Libra, which are my main three. And that's why it just like clicks for me, like, oh my God, that is why you feel this particular moon phase so strongly, because it does affect your signs. And then some don't affect me at all. And in which I just kind of look at the overall theme and like where this particular moon lands in my chart, and I try to journal, based on that, and based how I'm feeling and like what's going on in my life and what I'm thinking about. And each moon phase is a different thing that you should be journaling about. The new moons are the start, and so you kind of want to do your intentions and all the things, and the full moons is like what you need to learn and release and all the things like that. And so I think about all of those things, and then I think about all the things that I've been going through and all the things that I've been hoping and wishing for. And sometimes I don't get them, sometimes they're taking a long time, sometimes I have to learn to be patient. And that is what I end up writing in these things. And so the winter solstice is a little different because that's just, something that happens every single year. I know for me personally, big things tend to happen around the autumn equinox in my life. When I look back on certain big events, they all happen around the equinox, the autumn equinox in September. It's the fact that it's happened more than 2 times is more than a coincidence now. And so I always take that to heart, and I usually write big things on the autumn equinox. But winter solstice, this one was pretty good, and I think I felt okay, relatively. I've been a little bit stressed. My anxiety has been really bad. It's funny because I'm not consciously aware that my anxiety is bad, but I've been getting heart palpitations recently in like the last maybe 2 weeks or so, that, I went to urgent care and I've seen a cardiologist. I just took off my heart monitor and sent it back. We'll find out this coming week what's happening there, if anything. But it's been making me feel really anxious, and I'm wondering if I was getting the heart palpitations because I was already anxious, even though in my brain it didn't register that I was stressed and anxious, but maybe I was unconsciously stressed and anxious because a lot of things are happening right now in my life that I'm trying to keep calm, and I'm trying to kind of, just go with the flow of everything and just be chill and all the things. But it could be that all of it's just kind of bottling up, and my body's just like, you're anxious right now. This is anxiety. And then so I feel it even if I don't consciously think, hey, I'm stressed out right now. I don't know. It's a whole thing. But then, feeling the palpitations brings on more anxiety, right? It's just kind of like a circle, a vicious circle. And so I've been going through that. And yeah, it's been a minute. But I wanted to get this journaling page done, which is the full moon in Cancer that we had on the 26th of December, because I like journaling in here with the new and full moons. And I had that one to journal in as well. Just catching up on like all of my journaling and doing all the things. But yeah, this is the one that I would just like read the astrology report, and I read them from different like so many different blogs. Of course, I follow Deborah Silverman. There are a few Instagram accounts that I follow as well that do like these full moon and new moon breakdowns. And so I kind of read a whole bunch of them, and then I kind of sit with it, see how it relates to what's going on in my life at the moment, and then of course write my little letter to the universe. And that's just what I'm doing here for this entry. And yeah, so that's just been me. I've had this entire week from like Christmas to New Year's. I've had it off from work, which has been such a blessing because I was definitely very exhausted. And I think all of that exhaustion and the stress that I'm feeling and the anxiety and the fact I had my period, I was getting over a sinus infection, just I think all of it compounded, and that is why I started feeling all of these palpitations. I don't know, it could be something completely different. Fingers crossed that it's nothing serious, but I've just been taking the week to relax, to catch up on my journaling, to sort of kind of prepare myself journal wise for the new year, which I'm totally not, and to work on my course, which I'm hoping to get done soon. And yeah, I guess I've been relaxing because I've been sleeping a lot, but at the same time, I've also been trying to work, and I've just been doing little things, taking it little by little to just get stuff done. And yeah, I don't know. Just, I think a lot's going on. There's just a lot going on. Yeah, that's pretty much my update for you. I don't know what my plans are in 2024 in regards to, like, normally I have intentions by now, but I haven't actually sat and gone through all of Susanna Conway's workbook. She added like a new section in the beginning of this one for this year, which has me going back to my planners and my journals and seeing what I got done throughout the year, which is something new. And so that's been taking me a bit of time to fill out that first section, but I feel like once I fill that out, I can get the rest of it done and then figure out my words. I think for 2024, I'm keeping my word heart. That was my word for this year, 2023, and I don't feel like I'm finished with it yet. I really don't. And then the fact that we came full circle on this whole last week, I had to wear a heart monitor. I don't think I'm finished with it yet. I really don't. So I'm going to take that in as my word for 2024, but I think I might reorganize or, I think reorganize my supporting words. Some of the supporting words I think I am going to keep, like joy. I love that word, and explore, but I think I might add some new ones or get rid of some old ones and just kind of reorganize those and how they relate to my intentions, which I haven't even thought about yet, to be quite honest. And so I feel a little behind in that I'm going to go into 2024 with that not being set. But it's okay. I have all of January to sit down and do that. And yeah, other than that, like my first couple of months of the year are going to be so crazy, like so insane. Um, I think a big source of anxiety and stress for me is the fact that I've been apartment hunting. I was looking at rentals and then I ended up looking at the apartments to buy, and I actually just signed a contract for an apartment. And so I believe like the next 2 months is just going to be that. It's just going to be going through the process of that. Hopefully by March I'm moved in, and then I have like a work retreat that I'm going in March, and then literally when I get back home from that I have like a week before I go to Japan for 2 weeks to hang out with my friends on my birthday. And I feel like nothing's going to slow down until I get back from Japan because I don't have anything planned after April. May, June, July, the whole summer is just a blank canvas. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think it's exciting. It really is exciting, but I feel like the whole first 4 months of the year are just gonna fly by. And I really hope it's not as stressful as I'm kind of worrying that it's going to be, because yeah, I'm just feeling all the anxiety lately. Like just sitting here and filming this voiceover, I am very anxious. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, friends. I really hope you enjoyed this type of journal with me video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, friends.